North Carolina's Urban Talk Station.
Power 750 WAUG.
Good morning. This is Jeanne Bonds. I am back with Plain Talk Politics. If you follow me on Twitter at Plain Talk POL or on my daily reports on the website plaintalkpolitics.com, you know that I sometimes feature entrepreneurs as well as voters' voices. And this morning, our voters' voice is Marc Hyden, who's a national coordinator with conservatives concerned about the death penalty. Good morning, Marc. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Sure. Tell us a little bit about your organization.
Sure. Well, we're a national group of conservatives who question the alignment of capital punishment with our conservative principles. We want to shatter the myth that all conservatives support the death penalty, because they don't. And in fact, according to a recent poll, 68% of North Carolinians actually support replacing the death penalty with life without parole. And additionally, we want to increase the dialogue among conservatives and provide a forum for that, and really engage in grassroots and grasstops outreach.
And so you're active all across the country?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, in North Carolina, we had a Racial Justice Act, and that is now being repealed, and we're reinstating the death penalty. Have you all been following that issue here?
I have been following it, and, issues like the Racial Justice Act and what they're doing, really, these are attempts to fix a broken system. Fixes have been attempted many times, but, the death penalty, it's just beyond repair. It's irrevocably broken. You can look at Maryland for this. They tried to fix the death penalty so many times, but in the end they found out it was beyond repair. So the real question was, they just needed to repeal it in its entirety, and they did so, and they were the sixth state in 6 years to do so. And I honestly believe this is the perfect time for North Carolina to have this discussion with the majority of North Carolinians supporting repeal. I think it's a great time. I've been traveling the U.S., and there's a lot of common themes here. There's a hunger from conservatives to repeal the death penalty, and there's a hunger to see an issue that brings both the left and right together, and this can be that issue. And we really need an issue like that in the age where bipartisanship is taboo.
Well, and that is very interesting because, there's so many conservatives, at least in North Carolina, who have been saying, we need to reinstate the death penalty. So I'm just curious, how do you talk to other conservatives about this issue? Because it seems like so many people are just set in stone that that is the way you punish.
Well, I don't know. That might be just a very vocal minority, but for me personally, it was this easy. I gave the death penalty what I call the conservative litmus test. Is the death penalty pro-life? Absolutely not. You risk killing innocent people with it. Is it representative of a limited government? Not by a long shot, unless you believe government that's powerful enough to put you to death is limited. And lastly, is it a fiscally responsible program? No, it's more costly on all levels compared to life without parole. And so for me, it fails to align with any of the conservative tenets. And usually when I can speak with conservatives and talk dollars and cents, and talk about innocent lives that could be put to death, that's usually enough to let them listen. We're seeing an increasing number of conservatives come out publicly opposed to the death penalty and getting on board with us. There's a lot of conservatives that are concerned out there.
And Marc, how do you all work, with the, group of conservatives? Do you kind of work through county political parties, or how are you reaching out to people? I think you had a really good educational message there about the points to it. So I'm just curious how your outreach works.
Well, we have a lot of different ways of outreach. We work with different state groups that are trying to raise awareness about the death penalty. We've been talking with the one in North Carolina, as well as we go to different events. We debuted at CPAC this year with great success, and we had people coming up to us saying, "Where have you guys been for so long?" So we go to different conferences like that, and we found that's a great way to get our message out, as well as we have the media apparatus, which you've been so nice to help us out with and have me as a guest. So we do it through the media, through our state affiliates, as well as going to conferences.
And Marc, how do people get in touch with you to get more information or find out more details or get involved?
Well, if you go to conservativesconcern.org, all of our information is on there, or if they want to send an email that will go straight to me, it's info@conservativesconcern.org.
Okay, and we have on plaintalkpolitics.com, Steve Monks wrote an op-ed that you can read. He's the former chair of a Durham County political party and an attorney in Durham, and so he wrote something up on this, and folks can take a look at that as well. Marc, what are kind of next steps that we might see from your organization in terms of your outreach?
Well, we've been approached in several states to form state-level conservatives concerned about the death penalty groups, and we're in talks with different organizations to try to get those set up and generate more awareness and let conservatives know that they're not alone, because they're not. I was actually just talking with Larry Ford the other day, who was the Rutherford County GOP chairman, and he's vehemently opposed to the death penalty. So this is it's everywhere. He was telling me there isn't an oops moment with execution. There's no margin for error, and it's an error-prone program. Once you execute an innocent person, you can't go back. And I think that's representative of a lot of conservatives throughout the South that feel that way.
Well, I really appreciate you being on today. I appreciate getting the op-ed because it's an important issue for society to discuss, and I thank you for sharing a different perspective. I think people might be, really surprised to hear this, but very interested. So thank you so much for joining us. I'm running out of time on Plain Talk Politics, but I will be back next Wednesday. This is Jeanne Bonds.
WAUGAM, New Hope, Raleigh, Durham, Power 750, WAUG.